For more, I'm now joined by Chiao, retired NASA astronaut and former commander of the International Space Station. Leroy, it's always a pleasure to have you on. Last hour, I was talking to former NASA astronaut Jose Hernandez, and we were just chatting about how impressive it is. This is the first time this has ever happened for a medical reason. What do you think happened up there?
Well, I agree. I mean, this is remarkable. It's been over 25 years since it's the first time we've had to bring a crew member down for a medical reason. And that's because we are very well screened and selected before missions, before even coming into NASA. Of course, we're in great shape when we go up there. So for an incident to evolve like this is unusual, to say the least. And so we have a lot of capabilities on board.
Yeah.
We have a big medical kit. We've got diagnostic tools, including ultrasound. And we have trained crew members on board talking to doctors on the ground, which is why we were able to stabilize this patient. But out of an abundance of caution, NASA decided to bring this person down, and of course the whole crew has to come down because that vehicle serves as the lifeboat for everyone who went up in it.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I was reading that astronauts are kind of trained like paramedics, right, to do a lot of basic things, give IVs, suturing, that kind of thing. Do you think that there needs to be a doctor on board from here on out? Does this change that at all in your eyes?
No, not really, because even if there had been an MD on board, like was mentioned earlier, we have diagnostic tools, but they're limited. And so the doctors on the ground, I believe, out of an abundance of caution, just wanted to do a full workup of this patient just to make sure that things were okay and they weren't missing something. Yeah, we are very well trained, and I'm not a medical doctor, but I was trained in those procedures, and we spent a few nights in the emergency room here in Houston,
Wow.
sewing people up and putting lines in, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, you have so many stories. I'd love to just sit over dinner with you and pick your brain for hours. Um, you know, Earlier missions that we have seen, 2024, you had this splashdown where there was a medical issue that arose, and then all of the crew members ended up going to the hospital. We still don't know what happened there. Do you think we never find out what the medical issue is unless this astronaut comes forward and says, here's the deal, I don't mind sharing with everybody?
Yeah, I think that's the situation. The landscape has changed quite a bit over the years. It used to be that things were fairly transparent, even medical wise, and then the HIPAA laws and the enforcement of those laws kind of put a chill on any transparency on private medical information. So I think for those reasons, we'll never know, just like we don't know what happened in 2024.
Yeah. And Leroy, I was also thinking, you feel so bad for this astronaut that there's something wrong with them, right? But you also feel bad for them that they're responsible for bringing the whole crew home. I mean, put us in the mindset of this astronaut, the whole crew on board, and what that must feel like to come home a month early.
Well, coming back a month early, it's better than coming back after only a month into your mission.
True.
You're coming back a little bit early, but I mean, this person, unless it's something extraordinary, it's not this person's fault, right? This is something
Of course.
unexpected, and despite rigorous screening and care, something came up. And so, understand probably a bit of a reaction to feel a little bit bad about making everyone else leave early. But at the same time, hey, it wasn't this person's fault.
Yeah, and it probably feels really good for all of them to sleep in their own bed here pretty soon and see family again. Leroy Chiao, you're the best. Thank you, as always, for hopping on Morning in America. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks.
See you again soon.